Good evening. My name is Emma McVeigh, and tonight, let me share you all a Coke to tell you how advertising is so effective. You probably want a Coke right now, huh? Considering that I said let me share you all a Coke. Well, this evening, I will be speaking on advertising campaigns and why they're so effective. Famous advertisements are executed so well because they're crafted with A, good storytelling, B, a targeted audience, and action drives. I like to think of it as a sandwich. You have the good storytelling and you have the action drives. I like to think of those as two pieces of bread. And then you have the targeted audience, which is essentially the filling which makes the sandwich come together. Storytelling is what makes the story well done, and it's what gets the viewers interested in the ad. So, as I said earlier, Coke, they make phenomenal ads, and it makes you want to buy the product each time you watch the ad, you see an ad billboard, or you hear it on the radio even. The directed audience is what makes how many viewers of the ad gains. So whether it's millennials, teenagers, elderly, it depends if the ad is getting the views that it needs. And the action drive is what gets it the views and the popularity. So in short terms, all three of them go hand in hand, which is why I use the term a sandwich. I use that term because action drive can't be done without the directed audience, and their directed audience can't be done without the storytelling. The action drive is what drives people to buy Coke. Value and ethics are what makes ads credible. Without value, you don't have what ads are today, and without ethics on what makes an ad want you to buy the product, it doesn't make it credible. But thanks to my resources and sources that I have used and researched, this is how most companies used to make their advertising examples so effective. The execution of advertising and the credibility of ads are what make ads what they are today, which is why we, the consumers, want to rewatch or buy the products over and over again. You see a Coke commercial and it makes you think to yourself, a Coke does sound really good with dinner. Maybe I'll pick one up from the store. Or you're in the car and you hear an ad for Coke and you're like, maybe I'll just go out to eat tonight and have a Coke with my meal. The execution of ads is so effective because of how well they're planned and how well they're done. This is a staple because without good planning or good storytelling, there's a very high chance that nobody's going to want to watch the ad, nobody's going to want to pay attention to it, nobody's going to want to buy the product if the ad is horrible. That's why you need good stories, you need a targeted audience, and you need your action drive. This can be shown to be effective because of how many people tend to watch those ads. I keep mentioning that because it's important. If an ad is done so well, that makes people want to keep buying the product as well. As I said before, storytelling, value, and ethics are what make ads so interesting to watch. The storytelling, as I keep saying, you need to have a good story. And that even goes on in life too. You need a good story for everything. And a storytelling, in this case, for an ad, it's what makes people hooked on watching the ad, seeing the ad, hearing the ad. The value. What's the value of the ad? How much people are going to be paying attention to this ad? How many people are going to want to buy what's in the ad? And ethics. How good is it? How good is the ad? How well done is the product? That's what makes it interesting. This evening, I have discussed with you all what makes an ad effective, and it is because of all the steps that I've spoken to you about. I want you all to remember the sandwich method. You can remember the sandwich method by the 2 pieces of bread and the filling. You need storytelling as one piece of the bread, and you need the action drive as the other, and then the filling would be your targeted audience. I have spoken to you all tonight about ad effectiveness and how they're executed so well, and most of the time, Coke's ads are executed so well because of the storytelling, the audience, and the action drive, and you keep seeing them get replayed and replayed due to all those steps that they've accomplished as a company. The storytelling, the ethics, and the value credibility are what also make ads what they are today. And finally, tonight, I have shared a Coke with you all, and I hope you all do so in the future. Thank you all for your time tonight, and I hope you have learned the steps on how to make an ad so effective. And I do hope that if you do plan on making an ad in the future, you use the sandwich method that I have told you all to do. Remember, just the 2 pieces of bread and the filling. You need to have a good story. You need to write a good story, which makes people interested in what the ad has to say. You also need to have a action drive, which makes people want to buy the product. Like, you don't want to buy a Coke if not a lot of people are talking about it, or if an ad doesn't specify what it is. And the targeted audience, what makes people want to buy it? It depends on the age group. That is also important to realize as well. Thank you so much.